In an interview with Teen Vogue, Zendaya revealed that she wanted to make R&B with a touch of pop, rather than pop with a touch of R&B. She said that her sophomore album would be better than her self-titled debut album. I'm assuming that this would be the case due to the joint venture deal she has with Republic and Hollywood Records. Republic are great at promoting their artists. Casey Undercover was Zendaya's second Disney show. The series followed Casey Cooper, a high school student who gets recruited by her parents after she discovers that they are secretly undercover spies working for an agency. Zendaya was a producer on the show, thus had a lot more control on how the show was made. For example, it was really important for her to have a black family on the show, and she made that happen. Zendaya also sung the theme song for the show.
It's a super fun, upbeat song, but it also kind of has like a fun old school vibe to it.
Zendaya featured on Bobby Bracken's My Jam with Jeremiah. The song was #1 on the Billboard Emerging Artist charts. We could see her moving into more of an R&B sound, like she wanted. In March 2015, it was announced that Zendaya would be hosting the 2015 Radio Disney Music Awards.
Hey, what's up? It's Zendaya here, and guess what? I will be hosting the 2015 Radio Disney Music Awards. I can't wait to see you guys there. Mwah!
She was also nominated for Artist with the Best Style, but lost to Becky G. Zendaya featured in Taylor Swift's Bad Blood music video. She and Taylor met over text messages, and Zendaya described her as a nice person. She played a character named Cutthroat in the music video.
She's like, what do you want your name to be? I was like, I don't know. She throws knives and she's like, bullseye hits it every time. So then I was like, and she's like, Cutthroat. I'm like, yes, it's perfect. I feel like this is so cool because girl empowerment, like there's a whole bunch of bad butt girls running around.
In an interview with People magazine, Zendaya described the set for the video as welcoming, relaxed, and chill. It was a great experience for her. In June 2015, Zendaya featured in a campaign for Material Girl, a fashion brand created by Madonna and Lola, Madonna's daughter. The Material Girl was described as someone who is spontaneous, fearless, and inspired by her eclectic taste in music.
Fashion and music come hand in hand. I think it's just another way to express yourself.
Zendaya had the opportunity to work with American songwriter and musician Diane. She has written songs for artists like Cher, Aerosmith, Aaliyah, and many more. Diane and Zendaya seem to have a really great relationship. When asked what it was like to work with Timbaland, Zendaya said the following: "He's the bomb. He knows so much, but he always wants to learn more and become better. He's one of those people that has done everything but doesn't act like that, you know? He doesn't act above anybody. He teaches me, but also learns from me in a sense, because he knows that I'm a young person. And I think that he maintains that youth and holds on to that because he's open to listening to young people. He's really cool." Zendaya teamed up with Camp Google during their music week. As an advocate for arts education, she was happy to be a part of this, as those attending would be able to learn and receive advice about all things arts and entertainment. For this shoot, music and fashion were creatively combined. The song used in the shoot is called Close Up and was produced by Timbaland and sung by Zendaya. In the behind the scenes video, she talks about the challenges young musicians face.
Challenges I think that young musicians face is just, it's hard to kind of stay with your vision, you know what I mean? Because everybody has an opinion. Everybody has a way that they see that your career should go. And sometimes you just gotta stick with your gut and stick with your instinct and stick with your, your personal vision, because at the end of the day, like, you gotta live with it, you know what I mean? For the rest of your life, you gotta live with your decisions and what you decided. So make sure that you stick with your vision.
Finding Neverland is a Broadway musical that tells the story of how Peter became Pan. The music and lyrics are by Gary Barlow and Elliot Kennedy. Zendaya was part of the Finding Neverland album on a song called Neverland. This album was a companion piece to the musical, and the album featured other artists such as Nick Jonas, Trey Songz, Christina Aguilera, Bon Jovi, and more. When it came to making the music for the album, Zendaya explained that Gary Barlow allowed artists to do what they wanted. They had the freedom to add their personality to the song. When it came to the Neverland music video, they took the essence of what the play was about and did it through a different lens. They wanted to make it edgier. Zendaya even performed Neverland at the 2016 pre-Oscar dinner. Zendaya and Chris Brown collaborated on a song called Something New, which peaked at number 93 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart in the US. Not long after the song was released, Chris Brown said some crazy things about Kehlani. Zendaya supported Kehlani by unfollowing Chris and deleting posts about their song together. Additionally, a video for the song was supposed to be released, but due to the situation it was scrapped. I remember looking forward to seeing the video because both Zendaya and Chris are talented dancers and singers, so I imagine that the video would have had great choreography and would have been very visually appealing. Chris Brown addressed the celebrities that unfollowed him, and that was the last we heard from that whole situation. It made sense why Zendaya took those actions, as she always stands up for what she believes in, and she has known Kehlani for years, so her loyalty was always going to lie with Kehlani. From this point onwards, Zendaya hasn't released any solo records or music projects, and I feel like this situation definitely had a part to play in why that is. I can imagine a lot of label employees being pissed off at this whole situation because they wouldn't have been able to recoup their money for the video. Zendaya showcased her vocal abilities once again when she performed with Mario on ABC's Greatest Hits. She has a very unique sweet tone that is reminiscent of the 90s. Her stage presence and chemistry with Mario was everything. However, there was some speculation that she was lip syncing. Zendaya featured on Prince Royce's album 5 on a song called X. I'ma show you what you missing. This song is so underrated and people are definitely sleeping on it. Again, we hear Zendaya's beautiful tone and she even sings some Spanish on the song. Zendaya went head to head with Tom Holland on Lip Sync Battle. She performed 24K Magic by Bruno Mars and Tyrone by Erykah Badu. Although she is not singing here, we can see her musicality through her dancing and her ability to embody Bruno and Erykah. Tom won the battle, but Zendaya really won because Erykah acknowledged her performance and she caught Bruno Mars' attention. Her performance led him to call her to be a part of his video for Versace on the Floor. Inspired by the story of P.T. Barnum, the film follows the visionary who rose from nothing to create a mesmerizing spectacle. Zendaya plays a trapeze artist named Ann Wheeler. She described the film as being all about self-acceptance, leading with your heart, and allowing love to be more powerful than anything. The Greatest Showman soundtrack was extremely successful. In 2018, it was said to be the UK's longest running #1 soundtrack in 50 years. The film also won a Grammy for Best Compilation Soundtrack for Visual Media. Zendaya's vocals are on The Greatest Show, Come Alive, and she is a primary vocalist on Rewrite the Stars alongside Zac Efron. Some of the lyrics for Rewrite the Stars are as follows. You think it's easy, you think I don't want to run to you, but there are mountains and there are doors that we can't walk through. This film was set in the 1800s, so interracial relationships at this time were either illegal, socially unacceptable, or taboo. I love the lyric and there are doors that we can't walk through, because it's both literal and metaphorical. There's a scene in the film where Anne and Philip go to the theatre and they run into Philip's parents. They see him with Anne and say that he is parading around with the help. There are literal doors that they can't go through due to how society views interracial relationships. In that scene, they didn't even make it through the door to get to their seats. And metaphorically, there are many barriers that society has put up, and it's difficult for them to break through them. Black people were seen as inferior to white people, so if they're together, there's an imbalance. They're not on the same level, hence there are doors that they can't walk through together. This is a really powerful song, and it peaked at number 70 on the Billboard Hot 100 charts.
Okay, the album has been on its way, I know, but to be completely honest with you, let me just say that certain labels and companies don't like you to be individual. They want you to be a puppet, and I refuse to do that. So that's why it's taking a little longer. A little tea for you. It's scalding hot.
In February 2018, Zendaya's time on the Disney Channel officially came to an end. Despite this, she remains booked and busy. Smallfoot is a movie about Migo, a friendly Yeti whose world gets turned upside down when he discovers something he didn't know existed, a human. He soon faces banishment from his home when the rest of the villagers refuse to believe him. Hoping to prove them wrong, Migo embarks on a journey to find the mysterious creature that can put him back in good graces with his community. Zendaya plays a Yeti named Michi. She also sings a song in the movie named Wonderful Life.
Music, I think, in anything always heightens the emotion of things because I don't know, music just has a way of making you feel. That's why there's scoring to movies, because it just heightens the feeling of everything. It just makes everything better. So having music in it feels good. And Wonderful Life is perfect because there's literally a line that says, a life that's full of wonder is a wonderful life. I think a life where you're able to ask questions and to think and to be free to have, you know, these ideas and thoughts and do what you feel is right. I think that's a wonderful life, you know, being able to look out at the stars and know that other things exist. That's a wonderful life.
Singer-songwriter-producer Labyrinth did the score for Euphoria. In an interview with Rolling Stone, Labyrinth explains that Zendaya had heard one of the records he had written, and she was sending words of encouragement through the grapevine. When they finally met at the Euphoria premiere, their music collaborative relationship started growing, and that's how the song All For Us evolved.
What I love about All For Us is that it's a rounding up of Rue's dream, and her dream is to be clean, to be the better version of herself. Zendaya being as talented as she is, I was like, hell yeah, this girl could kill this record. She came in the studio, she heard the record, she really loved it, and she was like, I'm not gonna do what he does, I'm gonna do what I do. And I was like, that's the perfect way to approach a record.
Zendaya always seems to choose projects with great significance and meaning. You can tell that she is selective about what she does and why she does it, and this is one of the reasons why she is so successful. Depending on the type of project Zendaya does in the future, I don't see why she can't achieve the EGOT. An EGOT winner is someone who has an Emmy, Grammy, Oscar and Tony. Zendaya has the Grammy for The Greatest Showman. I believe she will get the Emmy for Euphoria, so she just needs to do Oscar and Tony worthy performances and projects. I really do hope we get another album, EP or single from Zendaya. I think she has such a unique voice with a beautiful tone, and the world could do more with hearing what she has to offer musically. However, I know Zendaya is all about doing what makes her happy, and her mental health and well-being is what's most important.
The best thing I've learned and advice I could give maybe my younger self is really to focus on happiness. You know, happiness is a key, because there's so many people that you see either in this industry or just in life in general that are going through their days and may have everything they could ever want, but they're not happy, you know? So you have to focus on what makes you happy and make decisions in your career, in your life, that make you happy. And so I've been trying to do that, and it's working, you know? And saying no to things that are negative and saying no to things that you don't want to do.
Thank you guys for watching this documentary. I hope you enjoyed part 2 and learnt something new. Please like, comment, subscribe and share.